Okay, so I worked all the way through this problem and then realized that my time ran out on that video. So I just left some of the work here. Basically, the 9 gets plugged in for your G. On this first one, the 20 gets plugged in for the P, since that's your pizza hours, and then same thing all the way through. And then basically you just have to add these products to see if they're greater than or equal to 500. So on this first one here, you end up with 280 plus 90, which is 370. Here you end up with 150 plus 280, 200 plus 280, and 150 plus 350. So which of these is greater than or equal to 500? Well, only letter D. All right, how do you know that the system of equations below has an infinite number of solutions? Explain. Well, if you were to divide this bottom one by -2, I tried to make a division sign, that didn't work out very well. Dividing this bottom equation by -2, it would end up being 2x plus 7y equals 12. Now, look at this compared to this. Well, they're the exact same equation, which means they're the exact same line. So what you would want to say is something like the equations are the same, so you know they're the same line, and they're going to have infinite solutions or infinite common points. We refer to these as coinciding, meaning the same. Infinite common points. All right, when does a system of linear equations have no solution? Well, that would be if you visualize it. You want two lines that do not ever intersect, and the only way to do that is to have parallel lines that have that are not the exact same. So they're parallel, they're never going to touch, never going to intersect. This only occurs with parallel lines. Explain by definition. Well, parallel lines by definition never is what I'm trying to say here. They never intersect. All right, 22. Charlie's dog pen is rectangular. Its length is 3 feet longer than the width. The perimeter of the pen is 38. What are two equations that can be used to show the dimensions of the dog pen? Define your variables. So our rectangle could be like this. Let's say this is the width, this is the length. We know perimeter means we take 2 widths and 2 lengths. And we know that the length is 3 feet longer than the width. What are the measurements of the dog pen? So now we're basically asked to solve this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it in for L right here. So I have perimeter, which really I should have put the 38 in here too, so I apologize because they did give us that 38 for the perimeter. Go and plug it in. So we have 38 is equal to 2W plus 2 times the length, which is W plus 3. So then we have 38 is equal to 2W plus 2W plus 6. So subtract 6 is 32, add my W's is 4W, divide by 4, W is 8. So if W is 8, 8 plus 3 should give me the length. So then back to my length is 11. So we have our two answers, length, width. All right, 23. The table shows the height and shoe size of 6 randomly selected men. Create an equation to model the relationship between the height in inches and the shoe size of the men. Show your work or explain your equation. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do this. What I would do is I would choose 2 ordered pairs and find your slope, and then basically use a point and your slope to write your equation. Does it say, let's see, create an equation. So it doesn't really say what format our equation has to be in. We might go ahead and try to leave it in slope-intercept form if we're in the position to do so. So let's go ahead and choose our 2 ordered pairs to use to calculate. Maybe we'll just use these 2 here. So 12 minus 11 over 75 minus 73.5 gives us 0.7. And really, if we want to do this thoroughly, we should find the slope between all points and find the average. That's what we'll do. It's going to be like 0.3 repeating. Coming back down here. It's going to be 0.3 repeating. And right here. What's that? 78. Just couldn't tell if that was a 73 or 78. So that I'm just dividing. Okay, so I'm adding all these together, dividing them by 5. And I get a slope of about 0.44. And then what I would do is I would use one of your points and your slope to write your equation. So for example, I might just use this bottom point here, 866. And I would have y minus y1 is my slope, x minus x1. And then if I get y by itself, I'm going to use my calculator to multiply. And then add the 8. And I get negative 21.04. So keep in mind when the answer key that was provided to you guys does use the Desmos linear regression, so that is exact. What we're asking you guys to do here is use all the information given to you to find a really good estimate. So even though the answer key shows a slope of 0.42, we were close enough. The answer key would have a range given. So like if you had 0.39 to 0.45, for example, that would be accepted. So we would be well within that range. And then it would be approached the same way or a similar way with the y-intercept. The y-intercept on the answer key is a negative 19.81, and we were extremely close to that, within like 1.5 of that. So again, with the information that we had, we got pretty darn close to what the Desmos graphing calculator would have come up with all that technology. Okay, so I'm showing that 23 is the last one, so this does conclude your videos for the Essentials of Algebra study guide.